Okay, let's do this thing. I got up this morning and I had a thought before I got on with the show because I was doing the most important thing that I can do in the morning. And I wanted to know what you do. It has nothing to do with today's show. Not at all. No, it's just extra bonus stuff to think about as we get into it. This program, the podcast, YouTube, iTunes, whatever it is, this is the most important thing I can do for my business and frankly, for me, because I really love doing this and I don't feel complete if I don't do it. So the very first thing this morning is I'm looking in the mirror going, man, you're tired, but you got to get it done. You want to get it done. Let's go do it. I sat down. I did the most important thing I can do. My question to you is, what is the most important thing you can do in the morning? And are you doing it? Or are you paying attention to all the rituals of life, like getting your coffee and reading the paper and checking Facebook and all that stuff? If you do the most important thing, you'll get the most important thing in your life. It's that simple. Today, that most important thing will build into success if you do one thing, and we'll talk about it today.
In 3, 2.
How are you? How's your day going today? I got to tell you, it's getting really close to the holiday season, isn't it? Man, that is the time of the year when every goal you have just goes away. It comes back in January, and then it goes away again. But this time of year, boy, it gets busy. We'll talk about that as we get closer to the holiday season. But today, I want to dig into the number one thing you must do for success. This is so simple, but today you'll have, 5, 10, 15, 20 opportunities to do it today if you'll think about it and get yourself to do it. It'll be a fun show for you. It is a daily boost from motivationtomove.com, the positive boost you need every single day because we do need it. I mean, even if you're doing nothing all day, have you ever found that sometimes we talk about being busy all the time and it's so busy, I can't do the things I want to do. But sometimes you have a great weekend and you've been busy doing everything but what's important to you, but you had a great time, right? It's just how life is. So that's why we have to have top of mind focus of what direction we're heading, living those values, living those principles, living those goals. And we do that, and we just chip away at it every single day. A lot of what we do is chipping away. Raise your hand. Do me a favor. Just if you're driving the car, be careful. One hand, okay? Unless you have a Tesla, be double careful. Do you sometimes find the person you want to be in the future, person you think you want to become, and I'm assuming you've thought about that. If you haven't, you should. But do you sometimes wonder why it's so difficult to get rid of the past? I was talking to a client the other day, and I just told her these words. I said, what we're doing is we're chipping away at the identity that you currently have. And as we chip away at it, little by little by little, we're building a new identity. And eventually you're going to go, that's enough, I got it. Are you doing that every single day? That's your goal. That's how you become the person you want to be. So, I didn't introduce myself. How are you? My name is Scott Smith. I'm the founder and the Chief Motivating Officer here at motivationtomove.com. Good to have you here today. The number one thing you can do today. Now, I'm going to set the stage and just say, Steve Harvey is a funny guy. I've talked about him before, kind of like what he does, kind of fun to watch him do his thing. And he's just a serious guy too, and he's a very motivational guy. And I got the idea for this program today years and years ago when I started talking about this, basically based on the concept, the context of the calls I was taking in. When I would talk to people, they had great ideas. They knew what they wanted. They had achieved the number one thing. They had achieved clarity in what they wanted. Scott, this is what I want to do. Many times they were already there. If not, we worked them to get there. If they had achieved that, then something else happened. Months and months and months and months of excuses. Months and months and months of people that were, it wasn't even an excuse where they were telling me, hey, this is my excuse. It was just, I know I've been busy. I know I've had this going on. I don't know what's happening. It was kind of that thing. Does that make sense? Have you been there before? Where you said, this is what I know I want to do, and you want to go do it. But for whatever reason, it just doesn't happen. That's kind of the reason this business is here. But Steve Harvey had this great advice, and it's advice I've given so many people over the years, and here it is. If you want something in your life, whatever it happens to be, you must jump. Jump. Metaphorically, you must jump into it. Think about that today, right now. What's been on your mind that you've been wanting to do, and you haven't got yourself into it yet? If you want to be successful, you must jump. You must jump into your dreams. Your dreams are going to run away without you if you don't do it. Dreams are they're just dreams until they become goals, and goals are still just kind of goals until you jump into it. But the truth is, when you set a goal, like we talked about yesterday, it's almost automatic because your reticular activation system kicks in. You start noticing things you can be doing. There's 10 or 15 or 20 things a day that pop up in front of you, and you go do them. You have to take a leap of faith. And often when I talk to people, the reason they won't jump, lack of information, which means they have little faith they can do it. And to get them to pump themselves up and just believe, and the basis of every belief in mankind is in faith. If you don't believe in something, it's hard to step into something you don't know. So if you're having trouble jumping, it's probably because you don't have a clear enough picture about what you want. You don't have faith in yourself. And maybe you're just in the habit of not jumping. Often we stand on the cliff of life and watch others fly by. There they go. They're having a great time. We're just like, man, they're having a great time. I want to do that. 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 They're enjoying life, the life that you desire, the life that you want. They jumped. They had a parachute on and it opened. Now they're drifting in the wind. Life is good. You ever jumped out of an airplane? It's kind of a crazy thing. Man, that first jump, it's the same thing with success in life. When you jump for the first time for success, it's wacky. The wind's blowing in your face. It's loud. It's noisy like a freight train. Oh my God, I'm falling to the ground. What am I going to do? And so then you remember, okay, wait, let's pull the ripcord. Let's open up that parachute. And poof. And if you've never done it, it's amazing. When you do, it's not some crazy thing. It's just really gentle. And the very first thing you notice as soon as you pull that chute open is it's silent. You hear the dogs barking down below. You don't feel the wind because you're drifting with the wind. It's pretty amazing. I've done it several times now, from 18,000 feet actually. If you want to be a success, you must jump. You got to get that chute to open. Many times where we are right now, we're thinking, hey, this is my life. This is what I want to do. I want to get to another place in my life, but I like my parachute right now. Things feel safe right now. I feel good right now. And if I leap, it's going to be crazy. Scott just told me it's going to be blowing in my face. It's going to be loud like a freight train. It's going to be scary. The ground's going to be coming at me really fast. What am I going to do? You must jump. Inform yourself to the point that you're ready to go. I say about 70%. When you have about 70% certainty, go ahead and go. You'll figure the rest out. Don't wait till 100%. A lot of you are doing that. Think right now back in time, how many times you waited right to the very, very end before you absolutely knew and you said, well, and you never got to it because you didn't know 100%. You're never going to know 100%. You're not. Think about all you missed out on because you didn't jump. Didn't get out there and do it. It's very simple. If you don't jump, the parachute is not going to open. It's never going to open. So today, as you get into your day, I want you to think about this. Maybe this is your jump today. Maybe this is what you're doing right now. Maybe you're thinking he's right. Because I will tell you, the number one thing that we talk about all the time, if you don't get your butt into action, if you don't stop drifting and start driving yourself into the direction you want to go, you get nothing. You sit there and wonder why you're not getting your dreams. And you can have anything you want. My number one value in my life, I used to say it was freedom. It is not freedom. Not at all. It's something I like to live, yes. It's choice. That's my number one value, choice. And when you make a choice, oftentimes it's nothing like what you're doing right now. When you make a choice, you must jump into it or nothing happens. So I want you to think about today, all the opportunities you're going to have today, everything that's going on today. Is it at work? Is it at home? Do you have a few minutes to write on your new book? Maybe read the Bible if that's the thing you're into. Do you have a few minutes to say, I love you to your kids or your spouse or to call a friend you haven't talked to for a long time? Is there a side hustle? Is there a business you want to launch and you haven't done anything about it yet because you're afraid it's too complicated, it's too big, you don't know how to? I deal with people every single day with that. What is it today that your heart and your soul is kind of tugging at you a little bit? Come on, let's go, man. Let's go. What are you waiting for? Don't be a chicken. You know you're good. You know you got an idea. You know it's move today. And if you don't move today, are you going to move tomorrow? The chance is no. If you don't move today in the little bitty directions to make the change in your life, you're not going to very likely do it tomorrow. Why? Because tomorrow you're going to be stuck in your ways a little bit longer. You're not going to have the experience of jumping and figuring it out as you go as that parachute opens, and you're going to be a little fearful of going for more and more and more. Well, it's pretty simple stuff, but I like it simple because simple works. Jump at something today. All right, tomorrow, what are we going to talk about? The life habits you must have, and there are certain habits you must have to do things well. Simple stuff, not making up any rules here. It's just things that work, and that's tomorrow's show. In the meantime, the book is available. Go to dailygratitudejournal.com. It's the 5-minute gratitude journal for men. A lot of women are doing the journal with me, and they're loving it. I'm getting great comments, so be sure to check that out. And you can also be sure, if you haven't picked up the podcast over on Spotify or iHeart or Apple, you can follow us there. And of course, now on YouTube, just go to YouTube/Daily Boost Podcast and subscribe to the show. We'll be there. In the meantime, I will see you tomorrow right here on the Daily Boost.